Welcome to your reading for the week of April 20th. My name is Debbie. This is a Mind, Body, Soul Evolution, and thank you for joining if you are a new viewer, and thank you for your return if you are an existing viewer. So let's see. Today is Monday the 20th. I'm running a little behind this week. But we have Uranus leaving Taurus, moving into Gemini. So for all of us, let's not be surprised if our thoughts just start to go. If we start getting a lot of motivation and a lot of new ideas to propel ourselves forward. We just had the new moon in Aries, a very powerful new moon. Aries was holding 7 planets, right? Or hosting, maybe I should say 7 planets. Major expansions are happening right now, and this is continuing. So let's just dive right into it because there's a lot happening. And again, if you feel like your mind is spinning, that's the shift. So let's see what happens for everyone this week. And we will start off with Aries because Aries, you are the first sign of the zodiac. And you are quite busy these days for sure. So let's see what this week holds for our Aries friends. Okay. Aries, on the root of the deck, you have the Chariot. So what does that mean? That means you're ready. You're ready to take a step forward, to move away from the past, right? Whatever the past held for you, and to move into the new direction of maybe a little uncertainty. Not knowing exactly where you're going, but being very sure in the fact that you need to move forward, or that the timing is right. Yeah, you have the Devil, the Two of Wands, and the Princess of Pentacles. So the Princess of Pentacles would be the Page of Pentacles. So very fire and earth energy. So what are you moving towards or away from? The things that have kept you small, the things that have kept you, Spirit is saying that have kept you from your potential, if that's making any sense. You know, I did some journaling this morning, and this is for everyone, but this will come into play here. So most of us have experienced, like we go from job, we're in one job, then we go to another job, but they seem to be like very similar in nature or similar organizations. Like I worked in government for 30 years for different places, but it was the same thing, right? Or we go from one relationship to the next, but we tend to find partners that are similar to the partner we had before. And the reason for that is if there is anything in your child, and this goes back to the inner child, and some folks believe that that's a thing and some don't, and that's okay. If it doesn't resonate with you, you can kind of speed past this. But that's kind of a sign that whatever validation or acceptance you didn't get, like when you were younger and you're always trying to do something to get approval from your parents or your family, right? If we repeat those patterns moving into life, we repeat them through the jobs, right? Are we valued in our work? Well, we'll go to the next place. That's very familiar to us, and maybe we can find it there. Or we go into the next relationship, and maybe they will find it there. And the thing is, and Aries, thank you for starting this off. We realize that validation or what we need isn't where we're at, right? It's moving forward, going into a different direction. And all of that stuff comes from within. And when we look at the Devil energy here, we realize that what we thought was comfort has actually been an anchor, has been holding you and keeping you stuck. Then you have the Two of Wands, and then you get this hint of inspiration, like, wait a minute. If I keep doing the same thing over and over again, or going to the same types of relationships, or the same types of jobs, or the same type of house or neighborhoods, whatever it is, and they're not working, maybe because there's something else for me. Maybe that's not for me. And Aries, you're starting your pinnacle. You're starting this off realizing where you were is not working for you. And maybe it never did, but maybe it was the stepping stone for you to start to blaze that trail forward. The card underneath the Chariot, and then we'll stop, is the sun. The path forward is being illuminated. In Aries, and once again, you are blazing the trail. Princess of Pentacles. What feels safe? What new foundations are you creating for yourself because you get to do this? And you're doing it because you finally decided to break free and to tell the world, the universe, and your soul that you have domain over your destiny. You get to decide where you're going. Nobody else gets to pull your strings. No one else gets to keep you small and feeling trapped. This isn't overreaching, right? This is a really intense entrapment. But it can just be feeling stuck or feeling bored, doing the same old, same old. The awareness is there. The inspiration is there. And you know that there's a better future for you coming. Aries. I love when these things just kind of come out. And I just literally, my notebook is over there. I wrote that out this morning. I'm on a bit of a thing myself. So Aries, that is your reading. Thank you so much. We will move on to, hello Taurus, how are you? So Aries started us off with a very interesting concept, very interesting direction. So let's see where Taurus will take this. Now Taurus, Uranus has just left your sign. You might feel a sense of relief. Like, okay, Gemini, it's much better suited to be in Gemini. So you might feel a little more comfortable. But let's see what this week holds for our Taurus friends. And as we see, the cards are popping out very quickly for Aries. And Taurus is like, yeah, I'm going to take my time here. So, and even that is a little reflective of the energies that are happening. One card face down. Two cards face up. On the root of the deck, you have the Devil. And we saw that, you know, when we shuffled the cards, right? Reoccurring theme, right? So what are you getting unstuck from, Taurus? You have two fives. You have the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. In the middle, you have the Phoenix rising, or the death and rebirth. This is scorpionic energy. But, yeah. So, Taurus. The question for you is, why are you afraid to leave this behind? Why are you afraid to step away from something that's not right for you? That's the question here. And here's the thing. Familiarity. We go to things that feel familiar, even if they're not good for us, because it's what we know. Apparently this is going to be a completely different kind of reading this week, because it's what we know. And although we know intellectually and we know inside of ourselves that it's not right for us, we still kind of feel stuck. Because like, what if the thing that is waiting for us is not good? Or what if it's worse? But here's the thing, right? These cups that have spilled out, they need to go. That's the thing you need to purge. We don't know. Maybe we do, but maybe we don't know exactly what the future holds or where the next direction is taking us. But it's leading into that inner faith and your intuition, because there is a definite pull to break free. And then you have the Phoenix rising, right? The death and rebirth, Scorpio energy. This is Scorpio here. Finally breaking free, finally getting your wings, but then you're going, wait a minute. Will I be alone? Will I be left out? I'm going to pull a couple more cards for Taurus. Like, this is great. I'm breaking free, but I kind of, you know, I'm not really in tune into my intuition yet. And what if I feel like isolated? So let's pull a couple more cards. They already pulled out. The Hermit and the Empress. Sometimes we have to have a period of isolation in order to realize like where this is taking us. Sometimes things break free or things happen and change happens, and then like the nothing. Feel like we're sitting in nothingness with no direction. But here's the thing, Taurus. That's your time to reflect. What is it that is inside your intuition? What is deep inside of your soul? That's your time to reflect on that. And the answer will come to you. And the answer is the Empress, really. Lean in to the greatest potential beyond your mind's conception. Lean into the potential that lies within your soul, that your soul knows the path to. This is a really deep reading this week. Taurus, trust. It's time to let go and it's time to trust. But this is about trusting yourself. Just as I said, that exterior, that validation, it comes really from within. Validate yourself and then everything will start to open. A little downtime, a little resting time. Scorpio, that is your reading for this week. Very interesting. We will move on to Hello Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 20th. Again, these first two readings have been very interesting. So let's see what Gemini holds. Gemini, you are now hosting Uranus. So yeah, let the thoughts begin, right? There's a lot of clarity coming forward. It may be, for Geminis, it will be okay. But for some, it's going to feel overwhelming. And it's funny, your first card that popped out is the Ten of Wands. So now you feel like you're taking on responsibility, right? You're taking on a little more at task than you want to. Eight of Cups. Okay. And again, another card of, we had the Chariot first card out. Right, for Aries, like moving away from something. And this is moving away from something and moving towards something. I always look at the Eight of Cups. And not everybody does, but I look at that more as moving towards to yourself. You have the Ten of Wands, the Chariot again, right? And the Sun again. Now look, we see how I shuffle these cards and they just come out, right? So, Eight of Cups. Moving towards yourself, and I'll just go to the one card underneath of this because this is very telling as well, the Magician. So Gemini, using all the tools in your tool belt. You can get a little lost in your mind, and when we do that, because that's your strongest element, right? You're an air sign. You can get really caught up in that. Look, I'm a fire. I am a triple fire. My sun, moon, and rising are all fire. I don't have anything to balance me out, so I understand that overwhelm. You get a little too lost in your mind, and it feels like a really big burden. And you feel like sometimes it feels like something you have to do. But here's the thing, like you know it's not. There's a path opening up for you. And it will show itself fairly quickly. I don't like, Taurus needed some downtime, some reflective time. They needed to have that break-free time. And then they needed to sit in it for a little bit. And sometimes you need to sit in it. But here's the thing. As soon as you start your forward momentum, Gemini, the path will start to illuminate and open up for you. And you're going to find new tools within your new skills, a new set of skills within you that are going to help you to move forward. This is a very, this is journey inward. Reflecting on what you want for yourself and not what others expected for you or want for you. Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of a boundary being set here, Gemini. So let us know how that works out for you. And we will move on to hello, Cancer. Welcome to your reading. Big moves this week, and I am not surprised. I am not surprised. The energies are just full forward. And I love that. I truly love that. Not everybody does. It can be unsettling sometimes, but it's okay. Princess of Swords, Cancer. So that's your first card. Princess of Swords. So what are you learning? And what education are you putting into play? Okay. That's not right. Let's see what else is coming out. Okay. Judgment. Another card of freedom. The Tower. A lot of major arcana cards. Princess of Cups. So you're princess, right? You have the Prince of Swords, the Princess rather of Swords, and Princess of Cups. You have two princesses. So this would be the page in the traditional tarot, right? And pages are that youthful energy. That's the energy of curiosity. So where's your curiosity taking you? I mean, like she's got her sword up. I don't know what the thing is that's floating in the air. And I could look it up in the book. And like, but like she's playing, right? Like she's not really trying to spot the thing. She's like asserting some form of independence here. So there feels like a form of independence coming your way, but it's playful. It's not harsh. It's not in your face. It's finding a little bit of independence. And then you have Judgment, like breaking free. This is like a celebratory judgment, right? This is much different than like the death and rebirth, right? This is a celebration, like breaking free into your life, like finally like having some fun, maybe not being quite so serious. And then you have the Tower. It's like, oh, wait a minute. So the Tower here, Cancer, it feels like there's just a few things that need to be pushed out of the way. I don't get the feeling this is a major Tower moment. I mean, it could be, but I don't think so. So, I mean, in this card, in this Tower, in the traditional right, like there's big lightning bolts, and there is a small lightning bolt, and there's literally people jumping out, but these flames are kind of small, right? It's kind of like blowing off some steam, like making space for this new adventure, this new form of freedom that you're going into. And embracing that and realizing that, wait a minute, maybe it's time to have some fun. Maybe it's time to be a little more playful in life and not quite as serious, if that's making any sense. So again, I don't think this is a big Tower thing. I think this is kind of like blowing the lid off of the old ways of thinking and putting new ways into play. Cancer, that is your reading for the week of April 20th, and we will move on to hello, Leo. How is Leo today? Happy week of April 20th. And by the way, everyone, happy Taurus season. We just moved into Taurus season. I will be doing the video for all the signs. I'll do each element in the video for your whole month, for your whole season of Taurus. So let's go into Gemini, Leo, 5 of Pentacles. Now, Leo, you've had a lot happening with work and boundaries. You have the universe. So let's see. It looks like that's starting to clear up. You've had you've had instances where people have been, like betrayal has been kind of the thing, right? The inauthentic people. You have 5 of Pentacles, right? So like, yeah, that feeling like, what? Like, why are you doing this to me? Or why are you leaving me out of this? But then you have the universe. Kind of coming full circle. You've learned so much. And I think this is more about asserting yourself. But let's see what else comes out, Leo. That's just the initial feeling. On the root of the deck, Leo, you have Temperance. All right, that's your Sagittarius friends. So call on your Saggy friends, your sister fire signs. So the root of your reading, Leo, is balance. It's harmony. It is what Spirit is saying is that it's two things can be true at the same time. Even if they're opposing things, they can both be true at the same time. And when we recognize the truth in opposition, that's when harmony comes into play. Oh my goodness. Spirit is really like talking a lot today. You have Five of Pentacles, the universe. Yeah, Two of Swords. So my question to you, Leo, is what are you doing with the lessons you have learned about yourself and about life in general, about life, where you want it to go, about balance? What is balance and harmony? And what are you doing? Right? What are you doing? What decisions will you make from here? Most of them will be planted, again, Princess of Pentacles again, will be planted in something that is more foundational. It could be something in the form of art as well. Art takes a lot of patience. Life itself is an art form. We tend to forget that. But the question for you is, where will you take, what decision will you make based on what you've learned about yourself, based on the past experiences you've had and what you've learned? You've come full circle. And now what choices will you make that are aligned with you? Again, Princess of Pentacles, so they're very foundational things. And it may be going back, scrapping everything and starting from scratch. And where will that take you? Maybe a beginner's mindset is what Spirit is saying, coming back to a beginner's mindset. Interesting. Call on your Sagittarius friends, Leo. We are here to help you. And we will move on to Virgo. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 20th. Very interesting reading this week for sure. The cards are full of, they're full of wisdom, right? I mean, I use the tarot cards as kind of like my compass to guide me. You know, that North Star, that inner light. Because when you can't always hear it, we can at least see the picture. But Virgo, what is this week holding for you? The Magician. Now, we just had that. And so let's see what else is coming out. Four of Swords. Two of Wands. So again, more inspiration, a little heat energy. And I'm not surprised that there's, you know, wands coming out, some fire energy, because this is a whole year of fire and heat, right? But you have, yeah, Seven of Pentacles, the Magician, Four of Swords, Two of Wands. And although this is not a Six of Swords, this is not the Eight of Cups, this is not a Chariot, I still get the feeling that this is a forward moving or forward change scenario. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Do I keep doing the same thing? Is what I'm doing working? Or is it just biding time? Or am I doing it because it's back to the familiarity, right? Am I doing it because it's familiar and it's what I know? And although I may be good at it, is that the reason to keep doing it? Or the Magician, a big card. Is there somewhere else for me to be? Is there another direction for me to go? And what skills haven't I been using that I need to tap into now that can actually guide me? Four of Swords, right? There's no rush. Virgo, there's no rush. Take a moment. Get above your thoughts. Allow your soul to bring your awareness above the everyday thoughts. For some of you, I think that there's a little boredom that has set in. A little bit of the same old. Although Virgo's like structure and you like plans, sometimes the repetition of the same thing can feel really boring. And you have this little Two of Wands that says, I want a little spark. I want a little light. I want a little excitement. So how do I get that? Tune into your untapped skills. Your untapped skills are starting to talk to you, especially now that Uranus has moved into Gemini. Again, the thoughts are going to be coming for some very quickly. So write things down. Write things down. And just one more card, because it's underneath the Two of Wands is the Prince of Wands. You're ready to move forward into something new. Of course, you know, you're not going to go too fast because you are an earth sign. But you're learning to tap into your other skills. To let your other skills take center stage. Get out of that place of boredom and repetition. Even if you're good at it, right? Just because we're good at something doesn't mean it's what we're meant to do. So Virgo, that is your reading. Yeah. Tap into those talents of yours that are within you that are making their way to your awareness. We will move on to Libra. Hello, Libra. How are you? Welcome to your reading for the week of April 20th. And we will see what this week is holding for you. And yes, I don't know if you noticed, I got my hair cut. I did it on Friday, the new moon in Aries. I just thought that was just I didn't actually plan it that way. I just had made the appointment a couple weeks ahead of time. And when I went in, I said, oh, it's the new moon in Aries. Okay, it's a perfect time for a haircut. So, you know. And something as simple as a haircut can make you feel like completely different, right? Yeah, so Libra, you have 8 of Wands, so quick movement. Oh, these wands are so cute, though. I will show them to you. So you're moving fast, right? Inspiration strikes, and you are ready to go. 3 of Swords. Okay, so let's see what the 3 of Swords is. For you, that, you know, they call this the heartbreak card. Maybe, maybe not. 8 of Wands, Prince of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. Look at these. They look like little feathers on the ends of those wands, right? They're not even fiery wands. So it looks here, Libra, like there is some emotional healing that has been happening. And if it's almost like there's been a reconciliation, that someone had treated you in a certain way that they didn't need to, that never should have happened, or that you didn't expect. And it's taken a while. I'm going to say this is a three of Swords. It could be a 3-year cycle. So wherever you were at 3 years ago, look into that. Yeah. Underneath that is 10 of Cups. Because in moving forward from that, you have now emotional fulfillment, which is your 8 of Wands. It's like once you have that space of awareness, that whatever this 3 of Swords is, had nothing to do with you. It was all about the other person and their inability to communicate what was going on with them at the time. So instead of trying to find the right words, they acted out in a certain way. And now you go, oh, wait a minute, it's got nothing to do with me anyway. I'm going to set myself free. I'm going to allow, only loving relationships come in, right? So Prince of Cups. So this would be like the Knight of Cups. This is what I consider like the most romantic card in the deck. I mean, people think the Lovers, but I don't think so. And personally, I think the Knight of Cups is the most romantic one because Knights are fire energy. Right? They are passion, and Cups, are the emotions and the intuition, and it's completely like unbridled. They're just putting their feelings out there and pouring it out. So you're going from a situation where someone did not know how to talk to you or how to express themselves, so they just completely screwed the whole thing up, to someone who's not afraid of their emotions and to let them show. Complete emotional fulfillment, right? Because you decided, you realized that it had nothing to do with you. And by them not knowing how to treat you right and how to express themselves, that gave you the freedom for this fulfillment. And in that fulfillment, you find the sense of independence and stability that wasn't in this former relationship. Now, this could be a friendship, it could be a work relationship, it could be any kind of relationship. It could also have something to do with your relationship with yourself and what you believed you were worth, or your value instilled within yourself. And you could be breaking free from some old narrative there as well. This is great, right? Stability. This is even, I would even go as far as to say confidence here. So there's nothing else to say. Libra, that is your reading for this week. It's a powerful one. Enjoy the energies, and we will move on to Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio. How are you? Let's give these cards a really good shuffle. They are full of a lot of wisdom, and I keep saying that, but these cards today are just bringing out the deepest of the deep. And that's because we're ready for that. So Scorpio, let's see what the week of April 20th holds for you. 4 of Swords, 7 of Swords. Talk about Uranus and Gemini. I might need to get a couple more. Okay, yeah, 9 of Pentacles. Okay, 8 of Wands. Again, so when these storylines come out like this, or when the same cards come out, and it's going into a linear movement, right? From one side, and then the next side gets similar cards or the same cards. That's just the progression through life, right? 8 of Wands, right? So a fast realization. You have 4 of Swords, 7 of Swords. So it's almost like a mental, I'm going to say a mental reckoning, although this may be an emotional reckoning for Scorpio friends. I think this is a mental reckoning where you're kind of trying to figure things out, and then there's been some type of like a deception. And again, I keep saying I have to do a video on this stuff, and I keep forgetting to do that because by the time I get done this, it pops out of my head. If somebody remembers, if you can put it in the comment box to remind me. We go through things, and some things are lessons for us. Some people are here to teach us a lesson, and sometimes we are here to teach someone else a lesson. But all these lessons, especially when it feels like there's been a deception, are always meant to put us into a new place. Again, going back to what I said at the very beginning about seeking acceptance and validation, like whatever you didn't get growing up, whether it was from your home or your friends or your cousins or whatever, we seek in other places as we go to school or we go to a job or we have, romantic relationships, we constantly seek that until we realize it comes from here. So all of these lessons that we're going through, especially if there's been some form of deception, are all meant to bring you back to yourself. And once you lean into yourself and find that within you, find what you need within yourself, then comfort and abundance and everything starts to open up. So although this feels like a very emotional thing, Scorpio, because you're very emotional, this is also a logistical thing in your mind. But you're ready for it. Like you are so ready to put all this behind. And this could also be you deceiving yourself. I mean, sometimes it comes up as, who has deceived you? Because that's what society says. Well, who did this to you? Maybe nobody did. Maybe it's just the chatter of society itself and the world around us that implants these thoughts within us and makes us deceive our own selves. It takes our faith and trust away from us. And then when that light bulb goes off and the Eight of Wands comes flying in, then you go, oh, wait a minute. If I control my destiny, I can be rich as fuck. I don't have to do this. I can be as rich as I want to be. The only thing that was stopping me is my mindset. Look into your mindset, Scorpio. That's changing this week. Great reading. Let's move on to Sagittarius. Hello, my Saggy friends. How are you, my sister Saggies? Let's see. First card out, Wheel of Fortune. Sagittarius, your card. Saggies, we have Wheel of Fortune, which rules Jupiter, and we have Temperance. So, Wheel of Fortune. Here we go. The Wheel of Fate and Destiny are changing. And the Wheel of Fortune is a major arcana card. It is the midway point from the Fool to the World card. It is a midway point. Just like fives are midway point of change and transformation in the minor arcana, so is this on a bigger scale. But let's see. Prince of Cups. You had that romantic prince coming in. So Wheel of Fortune, Prince of Cups. Let's see what else these cards hold for our Sagittarius friends. Because, And on the root of the deck for Saggies, Scorpio, Death and Rebirth. We have bookends for major arcana. We have the Wheel of Fate and Destiny, right? This is Wheel of Fortune. This is fate. This is destiny. This is moving in the direction where you're supposed to be going. Death and rebirth. Why? Because you're ready. You're ready for a change. You're ready to renew yourself. Underneath that, we'll take this as the last one, is Ace of Pentacles. Could be some new financial opportunities coming your way. I'm having a personal little battle with an insurance company who overbilled me. Still trying to get my money back. So I had to, get a little strong there today. But again, Wheel of Fortune, Prince of Cups, right? So, yeah, Seven of Swords. So let's put all these together. The wheel is turning you. It's moving you forward into a place that is loving, that is kind, that maybe feels romantic. Whether or not, Sagittarius, this is a romantic relationship coming in for you or not, it doesn't matter. It's that feeling of romance. And, like whenever you think of romance, you automatically smile, right? Again, Seven of Swords, another card that's been coming out quite a bit in the last couple of shuffles. Where is your self-worth in the romance section? Like, do you feel like you're ready for it? Or do you feel like you deserve, like, to have that kind of unconditional love where it just is what it is? It's true and it's authentic and it's coming from a place of the soul, not from a place of desire from the mind, but a place of love from the soul. This is very big. Ace of Pentacles, again, planting the seeds of something completely new. Unfamiliar, but you're ready. You're ready to rise above all the junk. You're ready to rise above. And again, this Seven of Swords could be your own deceptive mind. It could, again, come from your past. But rising above all that stuff, because you have the ability, Sadie, to turn. This is your card. You get to take this card and turn it where you want to go. Take advantage of that fiery passion. Move in the direction. Move in the direction of a brand new beginning. If I look, the Ace of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, both wheels, both cycles, both circles. The cycles of life. Maybe just trust. Maybe it's time to just trust. Saggies, that is your reading. We will move on to Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for this week of April 20th. There have been some readings here today for sure. A lot of energy, a lot of emotions, a lot of awarenesses. So what does Capricorn have? Our Capricorns are a little quiet right now as far as energy goes, which is good. Look, Capricorn cards are not even really popping out today. Kind of like Taurus. Taurus is like, I'm not in any hurry. And Capricorn is like, I know who I am. But let's see. Let's get something out of here for Capricorn. I love Capricorns. I have a very heavy Capricorn placement in my chart. And I say this all the time. I have a lot of Capricorns on my dad's side of the family. So, and their influence is with me. Most of them are on the other side. Their influence is still very strong. The Hermit, right? They're telling me God. Now, the symbol means God. I have this on my wrist. Means God. So let's see what the other cards say. Nine of Pentacles again. So, reflecting, right? Connecting to the God of understanding, of your knowing and understanding, whatever that means, whatever that higher power source means to you. Everyone has their own take on that, a belief system. Even if you don't have a belief in that, not having a belief is still belief. A belief that it does not exist, right? Leading into, or letting that be the compass guide. Your crown chakra, right? Letting that be your guide. You've got Prince of Swords, right? That is the Knight of Swords. So that is fire and air. Fire, driving the passion forward, taking these new thoughts and moving straight forward. No hesitation. There's nothing in your way. You're just kind of almost like Aries, blazing that trail forward, taking that sword and cutting off anything that gets in the way of this new thought process. Four of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, right? You're always the happy home, the stable place, the ruler of your home, knowing exactly that that's where you're going in life. And you're not going to accept anything less than that. For some of you, you might be moving into a new house or to a new neighborhood or new community. Or your family dynamics may be changing to where there are being additions coming in. So somebody's having a baby boy that's coming up. And again, this is a general reading. So if you had a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, there may be a baby boy coming into their life. But this is about family. And what family life means to you at your deepest part. Like not in the mind, like not what society tells us, right? But what really feels into your heart. What is family? What is that home life that is full of passion, and it is a safe place to be with people that you love and care for. And again, another wheel here. moving through the cycles of life together. This is the energy. And again, there may be somebody new coming in, and there may be a baby boy being born into a Capricorn. You may be the Capricorn having the baby. It could be somebody in your immediate family. There's an expansion, though, of family. And just like he's just sitting there. He's got his little sunflowers in his hand. He's like just as happy as a clam, as happy as a lark, just sitting there. And remember that sunflowers follow the sun. So even though the sun card itself isn't here, the sunflowers depict that the path is opening up and being illuminated. Again, I get a really strong feeling of family addition coming in. And your focus, Capricorn, is on family this week. So that is your reading. We will move on to our Aquarius friends. Hello, Aquarius. How are you today? Welcome to your reading. The World. Okay. I think Leo had that card, right? The World. Coming full circle. Like you learned so much about the world and your place in the world and what lights you up. And I'll show this card. But it's all like little flames around. And again, it's another circle. So if circles are your symbol for anybody watching, then there's a lot of cards that were showing up today that were circles or circular in form, right? Eight of Cups. We have Prince of Swords again. So let's see where this takes you. So, yeah. You have the World and the Hangman, right? Two major arcanas. From what you've learned, again, put that up there. See, they're all little flames, right? And you are the center of your own world, and you should be the center of your world. Your most important relationship you will ever have is with yourself. It's not with your parents or your siblings or your partner or your kids or your friends. And those are all important relationships for sure. But your most important relationship is the one you have with yourself. And that spark of passion and heat and inspiration. Prince of Swords, right? Again, where is your thought process guiding you to? Seeing things in a different way, taking a new perspective on a situation or on the way that you do things. Again, Eight of Cups again. Moving in the full moon, another circle. Moving in the direction of things that make you feel like you. Moving back home to yourself. Whatever that means for you, Aquarius. I think this feels like a slow progression, although you have the Prince of Swords here, which is the Knight of Swords, which is fast energy. I think the passion behind it is fast, but the implementation is a little slower, right? The Hanged Man is hanging from the tree of wisdom, right? The tree of life and wisdom. So really taking the time, and you're an air sign, right? So you can really kind of disseminate what thoughts are scattered and what thoughts are meant to drive you forward. But really taking stock and letting all this stuff resonate and sit within you. Again, upside down, so the energy is going to his crown chakra. To what makes you feel like you're moving in the direction of you. So this is all about you, Aquarius. Where you need to be at this point in time. And it's a feeling, it's a thought. And then that thought makes its way into a feeling of awareness based on the lessons that you've learned. Here you go, Aquarius. That is your reading for this month. And we will move on to hello, Pisces. How are Pisces friends? Let's get some shuffling here. And we'll see what this week holds for our Pisces friends. Again, the week of April 20th, 2026. And what does this week hold for Pisces? Pisces are patient. I say this all the time. Are patient ones, right? The last sign of the zodiac. Five of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. Five of Pentacles has been quite strength. Two of Pentacles. So Two of Pentacles. There's choice. There's choices to be made here. So it may have felt like with the Five of Pentacles, things were not moving forward, but maybe we didn't realize, like we couldn't figure out like what was holding us back or what was keeping us stuck, or why we couldn't find the inspiration to move forward. That's changing now, especially with Uranus moving into Gemini, and all the thoughts, sometimes thoughts maybe a little too much. All the thoughts are coming up because you have the Ace of Swords. And just look at that, the crown, the crown right above that. It's like a light bulb moment where things start to get really, really clear. And you realize that maybe you have not been following your strength. Maybe you have not been utilizing your strength to move you forward. This Two of Pentacles could be balancing oppositional things, or it could be taking a step back and just enjoying the simpler aspects of life. So if life has been really tough, Pisces, and I know a couple of Pisces have really been going through it for like the past 8 to 10 years, and it's been draining, and you feel like you haven't been able to get your footing because something keeps getting in the way, or there hasn't been any motivation or inspiration, or you just, as smart as you are, it just didn't come to you. That's changing. There's going to be a lot of like illumination in your mind, a lot of inspiration, a lot of light bulb moments. You're going to go, oh my gosh, that is it. That is it. Yeah. And you're going to realize that there's an aspect that maybe you were just afraid to move forward. Maybe you did not know how. But think about, and this is Leo energy, so if you have any Leo friends, call on them. This could be also not knowing how strong you are to be able to do the things you want to do. And that's all coming to the awareness. Your strength is coming forward. And look, like her strength is carrying her. Like in the traditional Rider-Waite, there's a woman and there's a lion, and she's like petting the lion underneath the chin. Right? And that's that balance of strength and softness. And in here, like she's on the back of the wolf, which is wisdom. There's a butterfly here, which is change and transformation. And let your strength now carry you. You don't have to carry your strength now, Pisces. Let your strength be the thing that carries you into balance and harmony. Taking those thoughts that are coming up at sometimes maybe overload speed. But let your strength be the thing that carries you. Not that you have to be strong to carry the strength. If that makes any sense. It's time, Pisces, to let someone else take you. Now let your strength carry you. You don't have to be the one who's strong. It's the strength itself that will take you to where you're going. Maybe someplace calm and sunny, and someplace that is in harmony with you. Okay, everyone, that is your reading for the week of April 20th. If you have any questions, put them in the comment box. If you have something happening in your life and maybe you don't want to schedule a personal reading, put it in the comment box and I can do a general reading around a situation to help us to learn how to use these cards as tools and as a compass to move forward and to give you a little understanding. It won't be a completely personalized reading for you, because it will be a general reading, but it's just using the cards around a certain situation. So if there's other types of readings you want to see, put it in the comment box and we will get that out for you. But happy Monday, everyone. Enjoy the energies of the week. And until next time, I send you light and love.